There's a story behind this spool of thread. I'll also share the story of why I named my business A Humble Thread. I wanted to do a quick little about me video. July is kind of my soft launch for this YouTube channel. And I think as of today, I have 37 subscribers, which is like so amazing to me that 37 people care about this. August is when I'm going to officially announce that I have this YouTube channel. So if you are here already, you are really, really helping me and pumping me up for August when I let the rest of the world know that I have this channel. So I'm so glad for everyone who's here already. And my goal is to try and have at least 50 by the end of the month. I'm Jayna. I own A Humble Thread, and I take secondhand fabrics normally and make new things with them. That's kind of my main thing that I do right now. I also like to host hands-on hand embroidery workshops, sewing, and other craft and fabric workshops in kind of the Milwaukee area. And I like to host them in local coffee shops. So if you know a good place to host a workshop, I would love to know about that too. But I have my degree in apparel design. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I've got 2 littles, and I'm a Christian. I sew and create in like little pockets of time. I'm not doing this like all day long. I wish I could. And I go in spurts too. But if that sounds interesting to you, you should follow along, subscribe to this channel. I have been loving all of the feedback, especially about the microphone. I love that people care enough about this YouTube channel that they want to comment things that they think I should do better or change. That's super helpful because I'm super new at this. I think I'm gonna upgrade my microphones. I have like 2 of these. They were just like the first decent review thing I could grab on Amazon. I'll have to do some more research and see if I need to find a better version. And I'm trying just holding it instead of clipping it because I feel like this rubs on my clothes or whatever. So maybe holding it like this will be better. Maybe I need to like clip this to a cute little spool of thread. Actually, that reminds me. We're just gonna go rogue here. I have, right here. So I have this spool of thread. It's old. I don't know how old. Does it have a date on it? The story behind this spool of thread, I'll start with. So I got this in an antique shop right after I finished hosting my very first in-person embroidery workshop. And that was back in, I think it was July of 2019, if not 2018. But I remember my mom and both my sisters showed up. They drove across state lines to come to my very first workshop. My family and friends are the best and super supportive. The workshop was great. I had some of my very best friends at the workshop and met some people I didn't even know before, which was super cool. We did hand embroidery. I think we did like baseball caps. And then afterwards, we went across the street to an antique store in this old barn. And I picked this up. And it was $11, which I would normally not pay $11 for a spool of old thread that I don't plan on sewing with. But I have this thing with the number 11, and like I don't believe in like angel numbers or whatever, but I do believe that numbers have significance. Like in the Bible, like 7 is the number of completion. So it was $11, and 11 is like the number that I've kind of decided is like a lucky number for me. So, and it's yellow. It's my favorite color. And it's just a humble little spool of thread. So I'm like, I'm going to get this to commemorate my first ever workshop. And I've had a few more since, and I really, really want to have some more, but I just haven't had the bandwidth. But I do like to have local workshops in little coffee shops in the area. So if you're into that, you should follow me so that you can keep tabs on when my next one is. But anyway, that's the story behind this spool of thread, and I always have it. I don't think there's a way. Well, I could clip it onto the... No, I can't really do that. I mean, kind of. It's going to be like my vintage microphone. I'm not going to do that because there will be needles falling everywhere. And then the story behind my business name. So I've always kind of known that I wanted to have a business of my own. My mom actually has her own sewing business. And my dad, he has also owned his own business. So I've always been like familiar with having my own thing. I did think of a name back in high school. The name that I thought I wanted to call my business was Plain Jane. So I'm Jana, if you don't know who I am. I probably should have introduced myself at the beginning of the video, but my name is Jana. It's spelled Jaina. And so Plain Jane is what I thought my business name was going to be. In 2014 was when I started my Etsy shop, and that was the name of my business at the time. And I don't remember exactly when I changed it. I guess it was about 2 years later, actually, because I remember I was working in the library at college when I was finishing up my apparel design degree. And I was like in my spare time behind the library desk, I was like writing down this business dream. It wasn't really a business plan, like it wasn't like a formal thing, but I couldn't stop thinking about starting a business and sewing and like sharing with people how cool it is that you can take something like a piece of thread and either weave threads together to make fabric or use thread to sew fabrics together or to mend things or to knit or crochet. You know, if you look at yarn as like threads, like the basic structure all comes down to this, a humble thread. And I just like, I couldn't get over that concept. And I've been sewing since I was 10, and I learned from my mom. She learned from her mom, who learned from her mom. Like, it's a generational thing, and I'm so glad that it has like carried down into like my current generation. And sewing has always been like very, like, it's a creative outlet for me, but it's like really empowering. Like, it gives me self-confidence whenever I learn a new skill or do something again and I'm reminded like, oh, I can do this, or wow, I can learn this, or ooh, I bet I could do this based on me knowing how to do this. And that's so true. Like, you can. So if you don't sew yet, or if you're interested, I mean, if you're watching this channel and you're at least interested in like sewing or being creative, and I do think that every single person is creative in some way, whether you're an electrical engineer and you're wiring circuits to like harness energy, or whether you're an artist with paint and canvas. I think God designed all of us with some sort of creativity. We're created in His image. So with a humble thread, my goal is to share what you can do, and the look on people's faces when they learn something. It's like, yes, you did that. And the look on their face, they're like, I did that. It's just so cool. But yeah, in a nutshell, long story short, short story long, that's the story behind my business name. That's the story behind the spool of thread. Hopefully this microphone works. Hopefully you are not overwhelmed with my super chaotic train of thought, or lack of, let's be honest. If you have watched for the whole thing, bless ya, because I know it can be chaotic to listen to someone who has the brain of a squirrel, which I think I do. And it's really hot out here. So with that, I think I'll end this video. But if you guys have any questions, if there's something that I was going to mention but ended up not mentioning, I do that a lot. So please ask and I will try and clarify. Why am I out of breath? Just talking. Well, right now I'm just talking to myself, but I know people are going to see this. So I'm like trying to be so professional, sitting in my porch with piles of quilts everywhere.